Welcome to the Tiffany Micah podcast. What we do here is build the strength and courage in you to accomplish your big dreams and goals in your sport. No longer will you feel limited. You won't feel you're not good enough. You won't question whether you will make it. Those doubts will disappear because you will have the competitive edge over your opponents and leave them in your wake. And the bonus is others will notice. Listen up and take notes because I will show you exactly how to do it. Hey there, Tiff here. Welcome to the Tiffany Micah podcast. And what I'm going to do here for you today, as you know, I've put through the Striving in Lockdown series for you in great detail with all these episodes. What I'm not sure if you're aware of, I also did like a Tiff's quick tips around the Striving in Lockdown episodes as well. And that was actually the quick tips were in a video form so that you could actually see me. But also I wanted to use those quick tips as to complement the episodes that I did with the Striving in Lockdown. I'm not only going to just keep it with Striving in Lockdown, I'll be doing it with every episode, having some quick video tips, like straight to the point, keep it under 2 minutes, that kind of thing. But what I'm going to do here and what you'll have following you is all the quick tips from Striving in Lockdown. So it's all, they're very, very quick tips, summarizing pretty much what the whole series of the Striving in Lockdown series was. And it just gets you to help you think of, yep, these are the steps I've got to do. Let's go bang, bang, and let's go. And the next step, the next tip comes through. This is what you got to be thinking about. Bang, bang, let's go, right? So following what I'm sharing with you right now is going to be the quick tips, all in one, the Striving in Lockdown. I hope you enjoy them and use them to help you accomplish your big dreams in your sport, and also use them to help complement those episodes that they're relevant to as well. So I hope you've been listening to the Striving in Lockdown. It's been exciting because we're starting to all, come out of it. The restrictions are starting to alleviate throughout the world, which is great. We've all been going through different types of lockdowns, but the restrictions are coming out. We're getting more free. We're getting more freedom back, and at some point very soon we'll be competing again, which is really exciting. But like I said, use these quick tips to help you get you rezoned and focused back into what you need to be doing to accomplish your big dreams in your sport, and also to keep you focused on the path of where you want to head. So enjoy and dream big, believe in you, go after your dreams. How are you going to figure out what you do want when you don't really know what it is? So what I want you to do are two things. Number one is I want you to make a list of everything that you don't ever want in your life. Write it out in detail because it's much clearer to get the detail out of what we don't want. Then number two, what I want you to do is now write out what you do want. You've established what you don't, now you know what you do want. When we go through life, when we go through our sport, we're always thrown challenges. We're always thrown uncertain times, and especially right now with what we're experiencing with COVID-19 around the world, lockdown around the world, it can be incredibly challenging, and we need to find ways in which we can manage ourselves better and also manage our energy levels better too, because it's easy to go really flat and lose what we had before COVID-19 came into our lives. So here are some steps of what you could do to help that. Number one, meditation. All you need to do is do that for 5 minutes each day, just to slow you down. Something really simple to do. Number two, eat well. Eat the right foods, fresh fruit, vegetables, protein, healthy fats, all that good stuff. We've got to be still feeding our bodies and our mind with all the vitamins, the minerals, all the nutrients that our body actually needs in order for us to survive and also to help us get through that. Don't go back into a junk food. It's easy to step out of what's going on and go into like maybe a holiday style mode. Don't do that. I want you to stay focused on eating well. Number 3, train. Keep training. You're an athlete. Keep working on improving your sport. If you can't be working on the sport itself because it's limited, work on the fitness element and work on the mental element. So make sure that you are doing some form of training that is going to help you move forward. Number 4, focus on the goals. What goals have you set for yourself this year? Even though you're not competing right now, there's still goals that you have set in what you need to be improving in your sport. So if you haven't gone through the Successful Athlete Masterclass, you'll need to make sure you go through that because I show you exactly how to do that. So you can go to tiffanymica.com/Sam, that's SAM. Do that. Focus on your goals. Most important, it keeps you tuned into where you're headed, not absorbed by what's going on around you. Easy to be distracted. Number 5, hydrate. Keep yourself well hydrated. Even though you may not be doing the same things as what you normally are doing, you still need to keep those nutrients going into your body, hydrating yourself well so that your body's functioning properly, your brain's functioning properly. This is all designed to help you go to where you want to go. Number 6, rest. It is important to rest as well. So even though we're going through these uncertain times, we have to make sure we've got our structure in place of what we're working on, but we need to take some time out and rest as well. So make sure you're getting adequate sleep. Make sure you take some downtime, some self-care time for you, also to help replenish you so that when the next day comes around, you're set, ready to crush it. Number 7, last one. I want you to craft affirmations and read them out to yourself every day. If we're putting good information in here, we're going to produce good stuff for us. Okay, our body's going to be working better, our brain's going to be working better. Good stuff in, good stuff out. Bad stuff in, bad stuff out. Okay, so write out your affirmations, read them out every single day. When you're pursuing your sport, it's easy to just want to get on with it. Knuckle in, let's go, don't let anything hold us back. But I want you to think about this. Foundations are key. So you need to make sure that you're learning the skills and getting the foundations in place. And this is what you need to do. Number 1, list all the skills that you need to learn in your sport. Number 2, put in place all the drills that you'll need to help develop those skills. 3, you've got to get out there, craft the plan on exactly when you're going to work on that. Habits can make us or break us. So what I want you to be thinking about, what you're doing right now in this moment of lockdown, COVID-19, everything else, all the other challenges that you're being faced with. What kind of habits do you have in place to overcome these? What habits are serving you right now? Because we can have good habits and we can have bad habits. Good habits is eating well, sleeping well, exercising, training, focusing on our goals. Bad habits is eating junk food, getting too caught up in being distracted and watching, Netflix all day, playing video games all day, not activating this, getting too absorbed in alcohol or smoking, right? Those habits don't serve you, they hold you back. So what are we going to do here? We're going to work on what the habits you need to have in place so that you're moving forward. So number 1, identify all the bad habits that you currently have that are not working for you. And number 2, what habits can you put in place that's actually going to move you forward? Remember, it's the decisions that you make in the moments that are going to create the person and the athlete that you're going to become. We are all going to be thrown challenges in our life, in our sport, everything that we do. But the thing is how you deal with it and how you cope with challenges. Yes, we're going through a challenge right now with lockdown. COVID-19, uncertainty, we don't know what's going to happen. But what we want to be able to do here is we want to know how we're going to deal with that. And I'm going to give you some quick tips on how to do that. Number one, what challenges are you facing right now? List out all the challenges that are being thrown at you. Number two, I want you to brainstorm all the ideas of what you could do to overcome these challenges. Number three, what action steps will you put in place to overcome these challenges? And number four, time to get to work. You know, the hardest part when you're pursuing your sport is doing the work. It's grinding it out. So what I want you to do is I want you to be thinking about, even though it can be a grind, even though it is hard, even though it can be boring, what I want you to do is I want you to focus on these areas. Number one, pick 6 areas in your sport that you really need to be focusing on. Number two, what I want you to do here is actually pick 3 areas that you're going to focus on that a particular day. Let's say Monday, for example. Number 3, the last remaining 3 areas, I want you to focus that on the next day. So you're alternating each day. So the Monday is the first 3, the Tuesday is the next 3, the Wednesday is the first 3, the Thursday is the second 3, the Friday is the first 3, the Saturdays, the second 3. So what you're doing is you're alternating it, you're making it more interesting, and you are moving forward. Number 4, you just mix it up. Now it's easy for someone to say, hey, control your emotions. Whoa, hold back. But when you're in the heat of the moment and you're competing or you're under pressure with what's going on around you, it's easy for someone else on the outside to say, hey, whoa, hold on. But what we want to be able to do here is we want to be able to have strategies in place to be able to control our emotions. If we can do it in life, we can do it much easier in sport. If we can do it in sport, we can do it much easier in life. So I'm going to give you some tips on how you can do that. Number 1, breathe. Actually stop and take a breath. It's so important that what you need to be doing is slowing yourself down. When you get high with anxiety and your head's going crazy, breathe. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, if you can do this, step away. Step out of that moment. Just for, even if it takes you 1 second, just breathe, step away mentally, because you want to regather your thoughts, you want to regather your concentration, focus, momentum. You don't want to lose it. So you need to give yourself that space to actually step away. Number 3, what I want you to do here is just focus on staying in the moment. That's all you really need to be doing. Stay in the moment, focus on what needs to be done then and there. Being consistent is going to help you move forward and accomplish your goals. And some things we're consistent with because sometimes they're easier to do. Some things we are inconsistent with because they're much harder to do. But what I want you to be thinking about here is what you can do that's going to create that consistency in your sport, in your life, that's going to get you moving forward, accomplishing your goals, no matter what's thrown at you. What is it that you can do? Well, I'm going to give you some tips. Number 1, I want you to identify what is inconsistent in your sport. And the reason for that is I want you to identify what's not working in your sport for you. Number 2, I want you to practice that specific skill for 10 minutes, only 10 minutes every day, because I want you to really hone in and focus specifically on improving that skill in a short space of time where you're highly focused. Just 10 minutes, that's all we ask. Number 3, what I want you to do now is I want you to make sure that you're focusing on working on that skill 10 minutes a day for the next 30 days, and we'll check in with the results. Learning from your mistakes in your sport and in life, it's just really feedback. We all make mistakes. It's normal to make mistakes. It's the thing that we do. This is how we learn, this is how we grow. So in order for you to grow in your sport, this is what I want you to be focusing on. Number one, I want you to identify all the mistakes that you have made today. Number two, what did you learn from those mistakes today? What feedback have those mistakes given you? And number three, what are you going to do now to move you forward? You work hard, you make sacrifices, yet you still don't see the results. You ask the question, will I ever make it? Will I ever win? You are frustrated, which leads to doubt. You lose confidence and get down on yourself. There are reasons that you're going through this. You just don't know what they are. There is hope and there are answers. Join me, I'm Tiff, for the free Success Athlete Masterclass, because you'll no longer feel held back. You'll have more success and more wins in your sport. And the best thing, the hard work will pay off. Go to tiffanymica.com/Sam, that's SAM. I look forward to seeing you there at the free training. Dream big, believe in you, and go after your dreams.